a bunch of stuff we can't even talk about yet.
There's things happening.
Yeah, there's things happening. I mean, Maurizio.
This video will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time at the channel, hit subscribe right now. Well, here we are. And I'm gonna say finally. It's been a while since we saw you guys release a new full-length album. I can only imagine how both exhausted but also content you are that you're finally here.
Yeah, it's nice because we've been listening to it for so long and everyone's finally starting to hear it, and we're like, gosh, we don't even know what it sounds like, new anymore. So it's like people are discovering it, and we're just like, we're so, I wouldn't say
these are old songs though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're desensitized, because I actually really dig this album. I find myself listening to my own music this time.
And you guys are currently sitting in a van. Now, I don't know if that's the same van as the van we see in the Love Dagger video.
Yeah.
This is Gordita.
There you go.
Our touring facilities.
So, is the lesson from that video that if a weird van pulls up with some funky people in it, you should always jump in and drive off?
No, they just dropped me off so I could get something to eat, some coffee,
and
I
okay.
On my way back. And then we had to leave for tour.
Okay. In that video, in that song, you guys are, embracing a bunch of, 80s atmosphere and vibe as well. That's something that we saw you guys started doing more and more in your EP in 2019, Empty Eyes. You're going down that path. Metal needs more color today.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. It's kind of like we're generally influenced by that kind of, just that whole, we always say we missed the 80s. Like we were kind of wrong time in a little bit. So it's just the whole, like, that, vibrant neon kind of color, synth wave, retro wave, any sort of retro aspect.
Yeah.
Down to, is really just cool and missed, and everybody likes it, so it's just like, I mean, we really enjoy it, so if we enjoy it, we'll put it in there.
Well, I also feel like I have a completely different background than the traditional power metal singer or just a metal singer in general. I mean, my favorite band when I was 14 was ECR. So I guess, like, my influences are, a lot older anyways. So when we get to do covers of like covers that we did, that's prime, because I'm like, I remember those songs, they're my favorite, so it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just like us being able to incorporate a lot of cool aspects that I feel like I grew up and I feel really solid in.
Today, we're almost in, if you look at the global stage, we're in this golden era of thematic, I don't know if that's the right word, but thematic power metal, right? Where the big power metal bands today that are getting a lot of traction right now are all bands that have adopted a very specific style, a specific theme. Powerwolf, Sabaton with army stuff, Ailstorm to some extent. They're maybe not pure power metal, but you see more and more of that. Windrose, like Tolkien dwarves. And you guys kind of did the opposite. You started very much within that theme of the world of Ice and Fire, and kind of let go, slowly but steadily, more of that. Was that too limiting to stick within that?
No, I feel like, like, we are very influenced by it, but I feel like you should never put yourself in a box.
Right.
You should do growth no matter what way that takes you. And that's what's happening with us, is that, like, instead of writing music to please people, we just writing music. Yeah. Whatever comes.
In a world of, armor and capes, there's a lot of them already.
Yeah, you gotta.
You know, just trying to Kevin and I are really into weightlifting, so we try to bring a little bit of that aspect because we listen to the music in the gym. We listen to a lot of music in the gym. Actually, the majority of the music that I consume is now when I'm either working or lifting or exercising or trying to keep myself in some sort of figure.
Well, and you're always like your music inspiration is from so many different areas.
You know, if you can energize in you know, in exercise or, you know, on some sort of daily, you know, grind that you have, then I like that kind of music. So that's what we try to go for a little bit, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it does make the music today that you guys make is overall more personal, I think, than necessarily storytelling, and definitely, like inspirational, motivational. I think would be terms that you would describe your music with. Do you see then that you see different reactions from fans with your, let's say, the music that you've done the last few years versus the music that you've done in the beginning?
Yeah, I think you get a little bit more of a connection when you have like songs that aren't like specifically calling out, you know, names of castles and
right
scenes and stuff like that, you know, because the people get their own interpretation of the words and lyrics, and you know, especially how it works in their life.
I feel like recently, especially since we did the Unleash the Archers tour, and people had no idea who we were, and you know, I feel like people have, you know, since 2020 been in a very emotional state. You know, a lot of people had a lot of crappy things happen to them, and people showed their ass in their lives. And so when we were on tour, like, people were still in that vulnerable state, and like grown men were crying because, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Like, we hit people in the feels so damn hard. And I feel like some of these songs are a representation, like a little bit of like some of the situations that we all went through, and like they all have the basis that they were created on the storyline, but we wrote it in a way where people can relate to it, and some people are relating pretty heavy to them, you know, and I just feel like right now I feel like we are there for our fans, and our fans are there for us right now, and like literally there is no Seven Kingdoms without fans, and right now like it just seems like people are embracing who we are and what we bring to the table.
Now that you talk about the fans, and you know, without the fans there wouldn't be no Seven Kingdoms. What, quite literally, without the fans there wouldn't be this album. Tell a little bit more about that.
Well, we like crowdfunding records because it works,
and because they believe in us.
Well, because I mean, it's just like we did it all. Like we had record deals. We had a okay one with Napalm. That actually it was more of a, like, they licensed everything from Decennium and back because I didn't want to print them all, and we didn't have any, so I licensed that body of work out, and then they you know, they helped us with a music video, I think some touring. They still owe us some touring stuff, but they came in, they did that, and then you know, it worked for a little bit, but then when it comes time to make the record, like, luckily we didn't sign like into multiple records in it, you know, ahead of time. So you know, we had a bit of a reevaluation, and they just didn't have the confidence in it, ironically.
Yeah, they didn't have faith in us.
So you know, it was unfortunate in our eyes, because we were really hoping, like, you know, we would, you know, be like one of those long-standing, you know, legacy style bands, been with this record label for 20, 30 years kind of thing. We're trying to find that, you know, that like just kind of sunk our roots in kind of thing, you know what I mean? But we learned a lot throughout that time. I talked to a bunch of other friends at record labels and stuff like that, and just you know, understood the industry a little bit better. And then we went back independent, because Decennium was done independently. And then once we released it ourselves, they came back and like re-released everything.
And they were hoping for a bigger.
Yeah, but it's just like these things have been
we
on
already
sale
sold to
for
our
like
fans.
months. Like, yeah.
I met a lot of people from Napalm Records when I went to Metal Female Voices Fest, and the people who work for Napalm, like, that go out to the festivals and like meet people. I thought they were the most hysterical people. Nice. So it was a little sad to see that it didn't work out, but I feel like Distortion Music Group is doing more than anybody has done for us. Yeah, it's amazing.
We got lucky with that. But the cool thing with that is, to answer your question, is the Kickstarter stuff. We went back to it because we did Decennium. We know it works. So that's always there for us, regardless. Like, we can always go back. And then what we try to do is, now moving forward, we're trying to, like, that's the primary thing that can't move in like a negotiation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Essentially, the way it is the band handles the initial, like, it's like a VIP order or a pre-order before it goes out to the actual world. Like, we filter X number of copies, X number of items through us that we hand pack, you know, lick and seal, you know what I mean, that comes directly from the hands of us, and then it goes to distribution. Because there's not a lot of labels that want to do that, because they want that initial like hit, but that's where you pay for the record and the videos and the promotion and the artwork and everything that comes around with it. You know what I mean? These labels expect you to hand the record over and artwork and stuff like that, and it's just like, well, who pays for it? You're the one releasing it. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, you got to deliver it. And it's just like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Can I get a royalty on, you know, other things? You know what I mean? That you're taking.
It's not cheap.
So it's just like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that labels do, but it's not, the way it was explained to me is, until you're moving like an actual warehouse worth of like product, you don't need necessarily the label. Like, you can actually like make it so like the band, you know, does it once a week or something like that, and just it goes out in the mail. It's not that hard. So we do that because it works. And then luckily we were able to do like a kind of a co-release thing where we get the first, like, I think it was like 400 CDs, and then we sent the jewel case and the digital stuff to Distortion. So we're still doing vinyl all 100% ourselves, which is a big deal. And then we also got to crowdfund and be, you know, responsible for the crowdfund.
Honestly, the thing that we learned the most is that we need to stop trying so hard to fit into a mold, and we just need to bring to the table have to offer. Because when you stop focusing, like, if you, like, for example, look at After the Fall, I was wearing the corsets, I was wearing the leather, I was doing the crazy makeup, I was trying to like fit into that stereotype, you know, because right then it was like Epica was like the shit at that time, and you know, and like everyone was trying to be like Simone. And I tried for a while, but I was just like, I'm just not like that. And then over time, it's just like, we just embraced who we were. We embraced how we played, our interactions. We're not serious. We're goofy. We like to have just, I feel like the key is to stop trying so hard to please people and just be you.
So Sabrina, one thing though, that I just want to ask you, because if you follow you guys online, it doesn't take too long before people start referencing burgers with you in any way, shape, or form. So is this an obsession, and where does it come from?
Okay, so it literally stems from the womb. Apparently last time I was here, I dug some cheeseburgers, so I had to come back for them. And my mom said she craved them so violently, like she would be crying while eating them, like, I hate cheeseburgers, like, you know, so and then so over time, it just became like a thing where people would like laugh and give me a cheeseburger every once in a while. So one of my best friends, Brittany, I mean, I really do. And then, so one of my best friends, Brittany, she's actually with Keith, our drummer. She, one year for Christmas, decided she was going to buy me a pair of burger slippers. And so, like, I would start wearing them after shows because, I mean, I was trying to wear heels at the time. And I was like, man, I'm going to put on these cheeseburgers afterwards. Why? I ain't gonna wear them no more. I don't have to. And then we went on tour with Stradivarius, and I wore them at the end of that tour on stage with my tuxedo shirt, and everyone thought it was hysterical.
Everybody, yeah, it's weird. Everybody like freaks out over the burgers.
She's wearing sandwiches on her feet.
So, like, you know, you're on stage out, and it's just like this weird pop where people like freak out. So it's just, you know, that happens more often now because we lay into it.
It's actually that when I don't wear them.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, it's kind of caught a little bit. But, yeah.
I mean, but it's like, I got dared to wear them on stage at Metal Female Voices Fest when I was with the super group Eve's Apple. Maxie Mill and Clementine Delaney were side stage, and they're like, I dare you to wear those on stage. And they thought that I wouldn't really do it. And I was like, okay. Okay. And then here I come, dressed all real nice, gonna sing backup vocals, and I'm just like dancing with my cheeseburger shoes. And it's just like, it just became like, we play power metal. It's cheesy. So, don't take yourself too seriously is what the cheeseburgers mean, because, it's just, just have some fun. That's basically what they mean. It's just don't take yourself too seriously.
Test of will, no choice but to hold my hand.
Now, you said something in the beginning to take us back to the record, that, some of these songs are quite old for you guys now. They're not brand new, which means that you've had a time and you've played some of these songs live also already. So you've had a chance to digest this album now. Personally, and I've only, listened to the full album for some time now. Is it Life Signs, which I think is maybe my favorite song, more to the back of the album. Is it possible for you already to because you said that you've been listening to your own album for a couple of times. Do you have a favorite already? Is it possible?
Yes. For live, since we played it live, Chasing the Mirage is such a groovy song. It is like when we're playing it live, like for me, that is the best time to figure out what your favorite song is. It's because like, even when I go see a band, I wait to see them live before I really judge them, because the live experience for me is the most important. So even on stage when I'm singing, the songs that have the most energy are Chasing the Mirage, and Balancard is one of my favorites to sing, because it's like, I call it right in the meat, the butter zone. And everyone is like, even though it sounds like a lot of people refer to it as like a doom, but it's just like it gets everybody involved, and then one of the most fun songs that I like to sing just for goofing off is Diamond Handed, just because it's just, like all of them are super cool. Like Life Signs makes me remember every time we were on tour with Blind Guardian. But it's just kind of like they're all really cool. I think Silent Remedy is kind of probably the next banger live.
Yeah, that one feels different than it does with the album when you play it.
Yeah.
Is that the real song then? Not the way it's been recorded on an album, but the way you guys play it live?
Well, they all I mean, at least with me, certain songs that even bands have, like they just don't hit like other ones do live, or like you'll see a band and then they'll play a song and then it makes completely different sense to you when you listen to the record.
Right.
Actually, it's funny because that song, what is it? The actual song Crimson Thunder by Hammerfall, like I would listen to it, I was like, this is so simple. Like,
but live.
But like when we heard it live, like when they played it at Prog Power, it just sounded like a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
So it's like once you have that experience, you listen to the song differently. At least, I mean, that's how it works with me.
Yeah, it's like
I saw like Meshuggah sounds like Meshuggah, but once you see Meshuggah on like a really perfect
heavy
night, like for them, like it's just like it's a whole different meaning when you go back and listen to it. Every time as we lobby everybody, so we put the word out for 70,000 tons, because that was like just a wonderful show.
7K on 70K.
Yeah, right. So it's a good hashtag. You know what I mean? We're ready. We have a new record. Like we're totally ready.
That was one of the funnest shows we played.
70,000 tons. We live in Florida. It's an easy logistical issue. So like, let's
trying
go.
to sell ourselves.
Just let us know. That's one thing we always want to do. We would like to go and have like a couple months notice, maybe bring some friends. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
If they're listening, that'd be really great.
If they're listening.
We'll get a really, really great show. We'll play the whole Zenith record if we do it. Get a t-shirt done just for 70,000 tons.
By Bo Bradshaw.
Yeah. But then, yeah, we have a couple more festivals to announce, but we can't announce them yet. And then we should have a tour sometime in the spring that we can't announce yet. And then hopefully I'm
Europe
hoping,
at some point.
Yeah, hopefully we go to Europe. So we're trying to get over to Europe, and it's been it'll be 8 years almost, I think, since 2014.
Guys, I want to say thank you so much for, first of all, taking the call, letting us see the inside of your touring Mastodon vehicle here. And really appreciate that. Love the new album. And I really hope I get to see you guys play, whether it's in Canada, in the US, or if we have to fly to Europe, whatever. But we'll make it happen. So we'll keep our eyes open for those festivals and shows that you're going to announce.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful rest of the day, and hope all is great. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.